This is the National News Bulletin and you're watching Start TV on Channel 21. I am Warabai Kamara. First, the headlines. The Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow, during the launch of the 3 mineral sector policies, has said Sierra Leone's economic history and mineral development confirms the difficulty in ensuring that minerals development produce bordered economic development and growth for the country.
Equally, this policy will help transform the artisanal sector into an ecosystem that will help feed diverse local economic activities as well.
The Deputy Minister of Information and Communications, lawyer Solomon Jamiru, while officially opening a series of training seminar for journalists organized by the Independent Media Commission on Thursday, 9th May 2019, at the SLARG headquarters, has called for enhanced self-regulation, noting that there is a lot to do in terms of skills deficits of journalists.
And if you are a journalist of no means standing, if you are a journalist who would have to discharge your separate responsibilities and perhaps contractual obligations, you have to ensure that matters of public interest do not fall out of scope.
Sierra Leoneans buying and selling in the market have expressed their concern about the inflation of prices of food commodities in the market during the holy months of Ramadan.
Simona and Ebi, they could frustrate self market because we can market so everything will go up.
Stakeholders of the Madingo Union has officially presented the newly endorsed president of the Madingo Union, Alhaji Kanja Sise, to the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, lawyer Briwa, at the U Building office in Freetown.
Suggestions who don't come to me will are very seriously considered for implement immediately in support of HE President Bio's flagship program in the area of education.
And in sport, the Western Area Basketball Association has called on the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Sport to give more support to the association to develop the sport. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow, during the launch of the 3 mineral sector policies, has said Sierra Leone's economic history and minerals development confirms the difficulty in ensuring that mineral development produces border economic development and growth for the country, and the growth trajectory of the advanced economic followed a path of primary production through manufacturing and full industrialization. Leonora Jara has more, and she now reports.
Today is the month of Ramadan, and God will help us to implement these policies, and that God will help us that we get the best out of these policies.
Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow, while officially launching the 3 mineral sector policies, has said the overreaching objective of the geodata policy is to position Sierra Leone as a data-rich jurisdiction by defining and clarifying the management and governance of geodata and information as critical basis from which minerals, oil and gas shall be explored and developed. He intimated that the policy bring into focus issues of transparency and accountability, anti-corruption efforts, disclosure of beneficial ownership, human rights issues, mineral rights acquisition, and fiscal regime.
With this policy, government will promote sustainable artisanal mining practices, enhance environmental protection, integrate community and occupational health and safety guards in that sector. Equally, this policy will help transform the artisanal sector into an ecosystem that will help feed diverse local economic activities as well. The geodata management policy of Sierra Leone creates a framework for accessing and management of geodata on a national scale that will enhance investment predictability, competitive bidding for mineral, oil and gas exploration. I must say, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a clear and detailed outlook of mineral resources has huge potential for driving investment in that sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, let me say that these three policies present a comprehensive pathway to a promising prospect of an improved governance of the mineral sector, because we believe that improved governance in this sector, as I've already indicated, will enhance government capacity to harness the dividends from this sector.
The Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Professor Mori Manie, noted that the key rationale for the new mines and mineral policy that covers the management of all mineral rights in the country and include activities throughout the mineral value chain, from the collection of geoscience data and geological survey work up to and including the processing and exporting of minerals.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will remember that President Julius Maada Bio made the point about mining and mining activities and about changing the current Mines and Minerals Act, which governs our operations. There are gaps. That is why we have these policies. They may not provide all of the answers. In fact, I don't think they provide all the answers. But they have come a long way to narrowing the gap between mining as we would like it to be, some of us, and mining as it is.
He revealed that the new policy does not cover the oil and gas sector, quarrying and groundwater resources, adding that the policy gives limited coverage to artisanal and small-scale mining for a separate AM policy. Professor Mori Manie maintained that enhanced intergovernmental agency and multi-stakeholder coordination and collaboration is critical to ensuring transparency and accountability, inclusive and effective governance of the mineral sector.
Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, I think I speak for myself and the Honorable Vice President and the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Chairman of the Minerals Advisory Board and every other person, everybody who lives in a mining community, who wants to think, certainly in Kono, that our minerals have been a curse. We are looking for chaos, and I hope these mineral policy documents will put us on the right path towards a cure for our curse. I thank you all.
The policy, according to the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Professor Manie, shall ensure appropriate categorization and sharing of geodata and related mapping and other information become legal requirements integral to exploration and mining operations. Sierra Leone's economic history and minerals development confirms the difficulties in ensuring that mineral development produces broader economic development and growth for the country. The primary geodata management policy objectives with respect to the minerals, oil and gas, according to the minister, are to clarify types of geodata, strengthen the geodata legislative framework, and ensure improved geodata acquisition and analysis. The growth trajectory of advanced economies followed a path of primary production through manufacturing and full industrialization. Compiled by Abdul Rahman Kamara, read by Leonora Jawara.
The Deputy Minister of Information and Communications, lawyer Solomon Jamiu, while officially opening a series of training seminars for journalists organized by the Independent Media Commission on Thursday, 9th May 2019 at the SLARG headquarters, has called for enhanced self-regulation, noting that there is a lot to do in terms of skills deficit of journalists. Compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara, read in our studios by Leonora Jawara.
Delivering his goodwill message at the maiden nationwide engagement with newspaper editors and radio and TV station managers at the Harian Sane Hall's large headquarters with the theme Managing the Press Effectively and Professionally, the Deputy Minister of Information and Communication, Solomon Jamiu, intimated that effective accountability for journalists are those benchmarks that excels one in the profession. He challenged media practitioners and journalists to stand above restraint on publishing matters of public interest, but creates room for self-regulation, as there is a lot of catching up to do if we are to get a place in the global society.
Ladies and gentlemen, the role of the journalist is not simply to dig deep, but also to report within context. And if you are a journalist of no mean standing, if you are a journalist who would have to discharge your separate responsibilities and perhaps contractual obligations, you have to ensure that matters of public interest do not fall out of scope. And especially at this time when we're talking about the growth in the media industry, several online news sites, etc., it's very important that we also have a strong national professional body to ensure regulation. But having regulation from a strong national professional body is one. There also has to be room for self-regulation. As media practitioners, some of us, and I look at this very wide range of practitioners in the room, some of us may just have gotten started, some of us may be at the 5th, 10th year of our media practice, some of us may be the icons in the field, the elderly figures in the field. It's very important as we examine our practices over the period. There are certain things that I'm sure as we look back, we would say how I wish I would have done that differently. But I think we have a lot of catching up to do if Sierra Leone has to register its place within the context of effective and professional journalism.
The president of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, Kelvin Lewis, commended the Independent Media Commission for organizing the series of training seminars for media practitioners, but blamed the poor investment in the media that accounts for what he called bad journalists. He maintained that as long as the media is kept in poverty, challenges will continue to hallmark the profession.
If you rent a house and you're paying $10,000 as rent for your offices, last year it was 75 million. This year it is how much? 90 million. That's an increase of 15 million. How do you manage that sort of thing? When ministries, I can tell you there are ministries who from the beginning of this year, they have owed us over 50 million euros. Since last year, sir. They don't pay. They don't pay. So how can we? So this issue is very timely, discussing how media houses are managed, and I hope that people would express themselves freely and openly and talk about these issues, because some people don't understand. They think people are just behaving how they want to behave. But then the conditions which are prevailing do not allow us to do much more than what we are supposed to do.
The chairman of the Independent Media Commission, George Koima, noted that this is a series of seminars for radio and TV station managers, including newspaper editors, in managing the press effectively and professionally, that will inform the editorial policy of media houses and owners. He reiterated government commitment in expunging the criminal libel laws, replacing it with civil suit that caution journalists that there is still room for error if self-regulation is not enhanced.
I is passionate about this seminar because we want to get the best out of journalists. The best out of journalists as our mandate requires. Ladies and gentlemen, until you work with the INC, before you appreciate that more is required than journalists. Until you work with us,
are many problems. Every week complaints about complaints. Until the complaints community works almost every week because of the volume.
Compiled by Abdul Rahman Kamara, read by Leonora Jawara.
You're still watching the National News Bulletin here on Star Television. Sierra Leoneans buying and selling in the markets have expressed their concern about the inflation of prices of food commodities in the holy month of Ramadan. Mariam Kamara spoke to different people on the marketing prices that is affecting their buying capabilities. Here's the story.
Mohammed Kuruma, a concerned citizen, has raised a complaint about certain prices of food commodities whose prices have been inflated during the holy month of Ramadan, specifying that foodstuffs like rice, flour, oil, and palm oil have seen massive inflation within this short while, and therefore he is pleading to the traders to maintain the previous prices and to stop increasing prices of food commodities.
But this concerning about this Ramadan, it don't be a problem in this country where every year when they say Ramadan, then business people, then traders, then raise the prices of basic services like flour, rice, palm oil, sugar, milk, you name them, and other things. And just you do every year. So this now the message we bring now for the entire Muslim population of this country. For me, we appeal to brothers and sisters where they do them petty markets there. So now they all over, not to our market. All the markets them. We not say no woman, you know say king go na market. Now all the markets them then TRDB. All the market. As I say Ramadan, all things just they go up. All things just they go up. But when they say Christmas time, then they auction. And they put things then in the auction. So this trip, I make a say I decide because no one they see person. Any Ramadan you can't like I can't sit down so you go talk on an area for big them people here. And even at the appeal to the government, especially the Minister of Trade, Mr. Peter Bayeko Conte, make you call them people there this trip around, make them talk to them for we, make them sorry for we, for all the Muslims in this country.
A visit to the Congo market, one of the main markets in the western area, confirms that the hike in price has effect on both the traders and consumers of foodstuffs. In an interview with some traders and buyers concerning the market's update as to why prices of food commodities have risen and whether the said inflation is necessary or unnecessary, and how they feel about the increment of food commodities in the market, holds a mixed feeling among members of the public. According to Adam Makamara, a trader who sells fruit and vegetables, made mention that the prices of fruit and vegetables has increased within the past months, and the increments have seen further hike as a result of poor harvest within the country that has led them to buy from other sister countries, which is a major cause of the present inflation.
They would buy 10,000, for those they buy 10, 12, 15. If you see buy 20,000, must also the season don't buy. The last, but right now, it's not funny. It's not easy. This mango, you just do this mango, wait, fine for you. You put the money, you buy them. You say they go can't put it for them for sale. My sister, I want to buy them. I don't believe I don't sell it. Now this, well, now say na the dollar, because they were on this na Guinea. This na Guinea. We go Guinea, not to dollar the whole. Wow. This na Guinea, this is don't pass orange, Guinea orange, na dollar. Cabbage na dollar, carrots na dollar. So obviously,
Maybe things in the plants
no, we on time don't go. You know, they will on time safe. Inside these days, na 250.
Another trader, Mabinti, who also sells food commodities, made mention that the prices of pepper has increased greatly during this month of Ramadan, but the price of Maggi has remained constant for the past few months.
I start with pepper. When I will get can you imagine pepper 4,000 for one cup pepper 4,000. Then if you go now to Angusa, you buy the pepper 4,000. You tell them, say, out of pepper 4,000 for cup. Then go tell you they don't buy the bag 750, 700 for one bag. And I be the sell pepper by bag. I know how much of the inside one bag. So pass and just for raise the price up before the money get for come out for the pepper bag.
What about the other things they have?
Well, like the Maggi them price are normal. I don't go like that side. The Maggie and president normal. Like this, they buy 18,000. This army, the box, 18,000. This back now 18,000. So the Maggie and president. So, always the advice for the youth people is the president, especially things that when we get now, yeah. Saloma love not the wicked to be successful. They are not beg me, they beg them. I beg them. Yeah. From the one the way they plant them to the one the way they go buy to the inside. Make them know say right now things not easy. Make them buy, let them can sell you reasonable one. Let me say if you sell reasonable one. Let the poor one say will able buy 1,000 or 2,000 something. You go make them from picking and out.
Buy food commodities. Also mentioned that it is very difficult for them to buy or see certain food items like cassava, fish, chicken, banana, meat and yam, owing to the fact that they are very expensive. She also mentioned that things are not only expensive during the month of Ramadan, but this has been the case for the past few months. Therefore, they felt very disappointed by the traders for the increment of price of local food commodities that have been planted in the country, which are supposed to be enjoyed as Sierra Leoneans.
I can buy for go cook me sunakati. So this Simon and Ebi, they make the frustrate self na market. Because what kind of market so everything will go up. It starts from the salt, cassava, yam, plantain, everything will go up. What kind of market they make the wiggle, take go back. And that's the fish. When normally now we don't use to buy like this mina or because of the poor one. And every day na market. So they make the market with torment. No nothing for do.
With the present state of inflation in the market at this point in time, members of public can only hope and pray that the situation is addressed before it gets worse.
Stakeholders of the Madingo Union has officially presented their newly endorsed president of the Madingo Union, Alhaji Kanja Sise, to the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Lawyer Briwa, at his U Building office in Freetown. Here's the report.
Kanja Sise, the proposed Madinga chief of the Republic of Sierra Leone, introduce him to as our chief. He is the custodian of Madingos in Sierra Leone and our tradition, of which I know you are part of it.
A tribe who are very proud, like other tribes, they're very proud of their culture and their tradition. And therefore, we need to forget a structure and a leadership system who will protect that culture and that tradition. Who publicly, everybody can. The chiefs, they all can. They can openly and publicly declare their support and endorsement of me as the president of the union. One of the suggestions who don't come to me will are very seriously considered for implement immediately in support of HE President Dio's flagship program in the area of education. And I must say, we own tribe. Plenty of we, I would say, guilty of dandy, early marriage at some point. We don't take up on we say in support of the president in the agenda. We can't put bylaws for they against for fine anybody who send him the Kingo by early marriage before the stipulated government age, which is 18. That one we're going to make it policy, and we support them all over the country. The message don't begin to go, and then I clear support of putting it up with things. We also need support other areas where the government don't prioritize in support of the free education, but also in the human capital development as the president of that. In all of these, my operations, not to as minister, nobody not introduce me now as minister. I'm here purely as president of the government. Please feel free for passing directives directly to me at any time. We're willing, you'll find us as a very willing tribe to cooperate with you as a ministry, but to cooperate with this government under the leadership, the able leadership of His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio.
All the fine things that I don't say this morning, it pleased me heart. One of which is that as a tribe, when I don't decide amongst ourselves, nobody not force una for let una put down bylaws wey for guide una membership against early child marriage. This is now one of the flagship of the president and the first lady of this country. We only hope that wetin una don start so other tribes themselves will gather amongst them, they tie bond and agree that we serve inside we own tribe, we no go allow early child marriage for take place. The other tribes and they don't need for council we serve. They can gather no more amongst themselves and agree on that and they implement it. This tribal group, I don't want to call it tribes, this group are people that were peaceful, the Mandingos. They are law-abiding. It's very difficult for let's see a Mandingo man when a criminal. Although you want to see exception every day. Yes. So I know say at all times when I will support this government agenda. And anything where when I get concerned about, whether when I own tribe or issues generally in the country, and I always free for come to me.
And in sports, the Western Area Basketball Association has called on the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Sport to give more support to the association to develop the sport. Elton John has more in our reports.
Actually, as you can see, everybody is excited about the competition. It's been a while since the last competition, and the federation had been coming up with this saga of election of whatsoever. But now, finally, the competition is here, and I think all the teams are excited to play, and everyone, as you can see, is excited about it. So yes, it's very important, and I think it's a way of developing the sport in the Western region.
How many teams are taking part in the ongoing competition?
We have 9 teams. 9 teams actually. Actually, we have 12 teams, but we have 9 registered teams which are participating.
What is the format of the competition?
Well, we are doing the round robin system, which means every team is going to play each other.
At the end of the competition, what the winners will achieve?
Well, we will have trophies, and as you can see, presently we haven't announced prize because of due to sponsorship, but at the end of the day we're going to announce how much the winner is going to take.
Are you enjoying basketball where in your executive is not much productive?
Well, actually it is difficult to say because having a national body which is not productive at the end of the day, you have certain facilities which you should enjoy that are not coming your way. It is actually difficult because as you can see, the colours here, we are supposed to have 3 colours, but we only have 2 colours for today, meaning we don't have enough colours, and it is on the part of the federation to provide teachings for the scholars or for people that are interested to come around the sport and convert. As you can see, presently we are short of these people, and it's kind of difficult actually to balance. I don't know the equation, but but at the same time the game is playing. So yes, it is.
Thank you very much, Hilton, for that sporting update. That's all in a national news bulletin here on Star Television Channel 21. I am Wara Bai Kamara. Thanks for watching.